Folks, welcome back to the Presidential Podcast, the #1 podcast in the world. #1, by the way, not even close. People listen to this show in record numbers. Even CNN listens. They pretend they don't, but they do. They love it. They absolutely love it. Today we're talking about a beautiful day in history, October 13th, 2025, a day when we achieved incredible peace in the Middle East, while the Democrats back home were doing what they do best, breaking things. We had peace abroad and chaos at home, very presidential, very cinematic, like a split screen. On one side, me shaking hands in Jerusalem. On the other side, Nancy Pelosi setting her hair on fire on the Capitol steps. So buckle up, because today's episode is about the two faces of the Trump era, the peacemaker abroad and the gladiator at home. Nobody's ever done both at once. Lincoln tried. He didn't have Twitter. Segment 1, the peacemaker. The war is over. Let's start with the big one, the Middle East peace deal. I landed in Israel, walked off Air Force One, and told the world the war is over. Okay? You understand that? And they understood. Because when I say something, it happens. People said, "Sir, that's not how ceasefires work." And I said, it is when I'm the one declaring them. This deal, tremendous deal, ended a 2-year nightmare between Israel and Hamas. Hostages released, soldiers pulled back, humanitarian aid flowing, lots of trucks, beautiful trucks. People were crying tears of joy, and some of those tears, believe me, were because they were finally seeing a president who knows how to make a deal. Obama talked, Biden napped, Trump delivered. Now people said, but Mr. President, what about Hamas disarming? I said, we'll get to that later. It's called phased negotiation. You don't ask a crocodile to brush its teeth before you take your foot out of its mouth. Step 1, peace. Step 2, teeth cleaning. And by the way, we even got Israel to apologize to Qatar after they accidentally bombed a meeting. I told Netanyahu, Bibi, you're great, but say sorry. Just once he didn't like it, but he did it. People forget. Trump got Israel to apologize. It's never been done before. Moses couldn't do it. Segment 2, the Knesset speech. You've won! The speech to the Israeli Knesset, historic. Standing ovations everywhere. They were chanting, Trump, Trump, louder than at one of my rallies. Some of them wore red hats that said, Trump the peace president. I didn't even sell those, though now that I think about it, I should have. Limited edition. I told them, you've won. You've won, okay? You've won enough wars. Time to win some peace, I said. You can't bomb your way into happiness, folks. Trust me. I've tried it on Twitter. It doesn't work. Then I did something no other president had the guts to do. I told Israel to pardon their prime minister. I said, Bibi, great guy, maybe the best, maybe not, but he's got these little legal problems. Why not just wipe them clean? Some people gasped. But I call it efficiency. In America, we call it executive time. Of course, one guy held up a sign in the middle of the Knesset that said, recognize Palestine. Security carried him out faster than CNN deletes a correction. I said, see? Unity. Segment 3, the Sharm el-Sheikh summit. Peace with a side of photo ops. Then we flew to Egypt. Sharm el-Sheikh, fancy place. Lots of sand. Better sand than Mar-a-Lago. We held the biggest peace summit in decades. Everyone came. Macron, Maloney, Starmer, even Erdogan. We had kings, presidents, a few people who probably weren't invited but showed up anyway because they heard there'd be cameras. Netanyahu didn't come, said it was a Jewish holiday. I said, come on, Bibi, I gave you peace. At least send a thank you card. Still, the summit was beautiful. They called it a new era for the Middle East. I called it Trump's era. Everyone smiled, even Guterres. And for once, the UN didn't pass a resolution against me. Progress. Even Hillary Clinton said nice things. She said, Trump showed commitment to peace. I nearly fell off my golden chair. Hillary complimenting me. Somewhere Bill was whispering, honey, are you feeling okay? Obama congratulated the parties involved. He forgot to mention me by name. Classic Obama talks for 20 minutes and forgets the only person who made it happen. But you know what? I liked it because when your enemies start complimenting you, that's how you know you're winning. It's like when Rosie O'Donnell tweets, he's not wrong this time, rare but beautiful. Segment 4, the home front. Government shut down, the art of the stalemate. Now, while I'm out making peace, what's happening back home? The government's closed, totally shut down. No paychecks, no parks, no passports, nothing. Democrats said, we won't fund the government unless you pay for Obamacare. I said, no deal, because I like my government lean, like my steaks, medium rare, and with no bureaucratic fat. They said, sir, you can't just run a country like a business. And I said, that's exactly why you people keep losing money. But I didn't forget our troops. I said, we'll pay them anyway. We found $8 billion sitting around in the Pentagon's R&D piggy bank. I told Pete Hegseth, take it, use it, pay the heroes. The lawyers screamed, you can't do that. And I said, watch me. Democrats call it unconstitutional. I call it patriotic. My motto, if Congress won't pay the soldiers, Trump will. I'd crowdfund the military if I had to. GoFundMe for freedom. Segment 5, the Insurrection Act. Send in the troops, maybe. Then there's the Insurrection Act. People asked, are you really thinking of sending troops into U.S. cities? And I said, only the good ones. Look, crime's out of control. Mayors are asleep, governors are useless, and people are getting mugged by raccoons in broad daylight. So, yes, we're looking at the Insurrection Act. They say you can't deploy active duty troops without permission. Well, nobody asked permission when they looted Macy's. The last time this act was used was in 1992 during the LA riots. Bush did it. They called him decisive. I do it. They call me a dictator. Double standard. J.D. Vance said we're considering all options. Translation, Trump sharpening his pen. Because I don't start fights, folks, I finish them. Sometimes with tariffs, sometimes with tomahawks, sometimes with tweets. Segment 6, the indictment of Letitia James. Revenge is a dish best served legal. Then we have Letitia James, the woman who sued my company, attacked my kids, and said she'd get Trump. Well, she just got indicted. Isn't karma beautiful? They say it's for bank fraud over a $19,000 mortgage trick. That's it. $19,000. She spent years chasing me for billions, and now she's crying about a condo lease. Folks, if irony were illegal, half of Washington would be in jail. They say it's political. Of course it's political. She made it political first. You play stupid games. You win subpoenas. And now the media says, oh, Trump's weaponizing justice. No, I'm just balancing the scales. It's like a seesaw. They pushed first. I just jumped on the other end a little harder. Segment 7, the China tariff. The art of the 100% deal. Let's talk about China. They decided to block rare earth minerals, you know, the stuff we use for iPhones, tanks, and Teslas. So I said, fine, 100% tariffs. Every product. Boom. Wall Street panicked. Stocks fell. Billionaires cried. Elon Musk texted me, sir, this will hurt innovation. I said, Elon, innovation is when you build in Ohio, not Shanghai. They said it would tank the economy. But look, sometimes you got to break a few markets to make an omelet of greatness. And when the markets bounce back the next day, I said, see, they love me. The stock market's like a cat. It panics when I yell, but it always comes back when I open the tuna can of tax cuts. Segment 8, the tomahawk threat, peace through superior explosives. Meanwhile, Russia, I told Putin, if you don't end this Ukraine war, I'll send them tomahawks. Long range, beautiful, deadly. They can hit Moscow faster than CNN hits a breaking news alert. Putin said, we'll shoot them down. I said, then I'll send more. That's how negotiation works. You threaten something so big, the other guy starts calling you Mr. President instead of Donald. Zelensky loves it, said he'd only use them on military targets. I said, that's fine, but maybe aim near the Kremlin, just enough to make them nervous. The point is leverage. I use it everywhere. Tariffs, missiles, Twitter, it's all leverage. It's like playing poker, except I always know what cards everyone else has because they keep tweeting them. Segment 9, the Constitution in question, making history and maybe rewriting it. And while all this is happening, the lawyers are busy. We've got cases before the Supreme Court that could redefine what it means to be an American. One of them, ending birthright citizenship. People say, you can't change the 14th Amendment. I say, watch me. The Constitution doesn't say the president can't fix loopholes. And I love fixing loopholes, especially the ones the Democrats crawl through. We're also reviving the Alien Enemies Act, old law 1798, beautiful year. We're using it to deport violent gang members. People say, that's ancient. I say, so is the Bible, but it still works. The courts are fighting us, but we're winning. Because when it's Trump versus bureaucracy, I'm 10-0. When it's Trump versus grammar, I'm 0-10. But who cares? I'm still president. In conclusion, the two-front presidency. So there you have it. On one side, the great peacemaker of the Middle East. On the other, the warrior of Washington. It's like if Churchill and Sinatra had a baby. Loud, stylish, unstoppable. October 13, 2025 was a day of contrasts. The world saw strength. The critics saw chaos. I saw opportunity because peace and power aren't opposites. They're business partners. While the press writes about constitutional crises, I'm busy making history, maybe even rewriting it beautifully in gold leaf, double-spaced. So remember this, nobody juggles diplomacy, shutdowns, tariffs, and indictments quite like me. People said it couldn't be done, but it can. It's called multitasking, and it's why this podcast, like my presidency, is always 2 steps ahead of the news, 3 steps ahead of the critics, and about 10 stories ahead of reality. Thank you, America. The war is over. The podcast just getting started.